So, right, does the tension progress first or does the racket progress first, right? This was a very good question I got a couple of days ago. I said I would sit down and make a video. Here it is. For context, let's read it, right? So, since NanoFusion 722 is light and good for beginners, when do we progress to a more head-heavy racket? Does the racket progress first or does the tension when there is improvement? So, the quick answer is the tension is the first to go, right? Because, it's the first to increase, I should say. Because in the very beginning, you need help with power, right? That's the case. It doesn't matter if you have the best control in the world if you have no power, right? If you cannot clear all the way to the back, it does not matter if it's perfectly on the line. If it's super short, it doesn't matter, okay? So as soon as you have power, right, the next thing you yearn for is control, right? Because you have power now, so it's easier to place it in the back. But you obviously don't want to change your timing, you don't want to change your weight, all that. Because then you're going to have to relearn, you're going to have to readapt, you're going to have to retime. So the best way to get the control without changing that much is, of course, increasing the tension, right? And then the second part of the question is, when do we progress to a more heavy racket? So technically, you never have to, right? If you're happy with the NanoFusion 6 or 722, you can just increase 5U and stay even balanced, right? The question he's asking is like when, or the better question to have asked is, when do you increase to a better racket or a harder to use racket, right? A heavier one, a stiffer one. Heavier meaning from 6U to 5U to 4U, right? Stiffer meaning from like the medium flex to a medium stiff to a stiff to a very stiff, right? And that is a bit more of a up to you decision, right? If you are playing games and you just feel like this is not cutting it, and then you experiment and you feel that you can maintain the same level of quality with a different racket, but you know, it's a bit heavier, then yeah, I'd say go for it. So to kind of recap, right, because it's already 2 minutes, is tension should be increased incrementally, right? Let's say you've been training at 22 pounds and you've been training for like 3 months now and you train like 3 times a week. I say go up a pound, right? Try it out. And if it feels okay, you're not struggling too much, your performance doesn't suffer, you can stay there for another 3 months to 6 months and then try again, go up another pound, right? Like, it's not a race. Like, people should not, like, the goal in badminton is not to increase your tension as much as possible, right? It really is to just find something that's comfortable for you and something that performs, and then stay there until you feel the need to go up. Like, because most of the time, tension is not the reason that's holding you back. Like, for example, a lot of people here think like, oh, my smash is weak, I should increase my tension. That's really the opposite case. It really should be, you should be lowering your tension. If power is the issue, you should be lowering your tension. The only reason you should be increasing your tension really is if your power is already good, meaning you can lift all the way to the back, you can backhand clear all the way to the back, you can clear all the way to the back, malakas na yung smash mo. Pero you want a little bit help and control, right? And I'm very careful to say this because a lot of people will hear this and then they'll just, oh, Nigel said to increase the tension for the control, I need control, and then they're just going to go back up to 28, 30, whatever. Just plus 1 pound is fine, right? So again, right, baby steps, right? It's a ladder. You start low, start at 21, 22 pounds, right? 21 by 23, right? To be specific. Don't be doing 1 single pound tensions, right? And then train for a few months, go up a pound. If it's okay, stay there. If it's not, go back down, train a little bit more, right? And then as for the racket, of course, that will become apparent to you as you train, because you'll realize what you're missing or what you feel like you're missing, and then you can experiment, right? And of course, buying a racket is not a decision. Like, ideally, you try other people's rackets, you try other rackets in general, like in different classifications. If you have a 6U even balance, try a 6U head heavy, right? If you can. Try a 5U even balance, try a 5U head heavy, try a 5U head light. And then you can kind of see where you need to be. But I would always recommend small changes. I would not go from like a NanoFusion 722 all the way to like a 1000Z the next, right? It will feel totally different. You will be out of your comfort zone. Last thing I would say is when you do upgrade rackets, right, maintain the string and string tension, right? For example, if you're using a NanoFusion 722, you have it with like Apex Signature 66 at 25 pounds because you've been working a bit, and then you upgrade to like, let's say, a Superstar LT, this pink racket back here, because I'll be selling that pretty soon. Stick with the Signature Pro 66. Stick with it at 25 pounds, right? You want to see if the racket is a good fit for you. And the only way you can do that is if you keep all the other variables the same. Okay. Hopefully this answered your question, bro. Yeah.